Cutting and transporting California's enormous redwood trees required a tremendous amount of work and planning. Before logging could begin, railroads had to be built to carry the massive logs out of the forest and onto the mills. Survey crews marked the routes, and track-laying crews followed behind. Every rail line was built with one purpose: moving giant redwoods. Some trees were selected to support the cables and equipment that would soon be used throughout the logging operation. Tree toppers, or high climbers, performed one of the most perilous jobs by scaling massive old-growth conifers up to 200 feet tall to create spar trees for timber hauling. Relying only on spiked boots, a waist rope, and manual tools like axes and hand saws, these loggers climbed the trunks, stripped the branches, and chopped off the heavy crowns. Topping the tree triggered a violent, whip-like recoil that the climber had to physically ride out before rigging the remaining trunk with the heavy pulleys and cables used to drag timber across the forest floor. Because the work was so exhausting and time-consuming, toppers often endured marathon shifts suspended high in the air without modern safety harnesses. By wedging springboards high above the forest floor, loggers bypassed the tree's massive sap-heavy base to save hours of grueling manual sawing. Balanced on narrow planks, two fallers swing double-bit axes in perfect rhythm, carving out the massive undercut that will direct the 200-foot giant's fall. With relentless endurance, the team deepens the notch. Every swing of the heavy steel requires absolute precision to ensure the massive tree doesn't lean the wrong way. Next comes the misery whip, a massive two-man crosscut saw. Pulling in a flawless back-and-forth rhythm, they slice through centuries of growth to initiate the final back C. To keep the immense weight of the tree from pinching their saw blade, they drive heavy steel wedges deep into the cut. Each strike of the sledgehammer tilts the tree's balance forward, forcing it toward the drop zone. Innovation arrives in the woods with an early mechanical felling saw clamped tightly to the trunk. By carefully adjusting the control knobs, the logger regulates the blade's tension, letting gasoline power handle the heavy work of slicing through the giant redwood. With a deafening crack, 200 feet of timber begins its final arc. The loggers sprint down their escape paths as millions of pounds of ancient redwood thunder to the forest floor, kicking up a massive cloud of dust and debris. Walking out onto the fallen giant, the logger proudly gestures to the narrow lane between the standing timber. It is a display of master precision, dropping a multi-ton titan perfectly into the sweet spot without shattering the precious wood or damaging the surrounding forest. One last look at the final plunge as this ancient titan thunders to the earth, a masterclass in old-school precision. If you enjoyed this glimpse into history, smash that like button and follow for part 2 to see how they transport these massive logs out of the woods.